I teach a course called Psychology 4670. It's cross-listed as a graduate course, 5670. It's called Biopsychosocial Issues in LGBT Communities. The course basically is an introduction to health issues that involve sexual and gender minorities, lesbians, gay men, bisexual, and transgendered individuals. We take a look at the different kinds of stigmas, different kinds of health issues, risk behaviors, substance use that members of this community struggle with on a day-to-day basis. Since the course is in the psych department, we do focus on mental health as well and how these communities cope with the stress of being a sexual or gender minority. As a health psychologist, I think future psychologists need to be familiar with the issues that sexual and gender minorities face on a day-to-day basis. In order to better empathize with and understand the kinds of stressors that sexual and gender minorities face, a therapist needs to be exposed to them before they actually see a client in the room. Students who are not training to be therapists can also benefit from this course because they're going to learn about aspects of sexual and gender minority communities that might help them in their future careers. For example, they might learn about the stigma associated with being a sexual or gender minority, and they might also learn a little bit about what it means to be a person of multiple identities. What does that mean? You can have a gay man who is also African American and disabled, and the different kinds of stigmas that that individual has to struggle with. Or you might be a Latina lesbian who is struggling with cultural issues with her family. So the course offers students an insight into how to navigate the various barriers that exist in a culture that still minoritizes lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgender individuals. I think my favorite part of this course is that it gives students an opportunity to explore issues that they may not be able to explore in other forms of courses. The course is offered as a seminar, so students lead the discussions frequently and engage in material that may be not even on the syllabus. As a result of this, the course can take a different tact every single time I teach it. So if you're somebody who is intellectually curious, stimulated by the life of the mind, willing to read a lot, and engage in conversation with your peers, I think you'll like this course. One of the things I've noticed over the years is that at the end of the semester, students have made quite a bit of friends in the course and oftentimes go out afterwards just to process what they've dealt with in the course. I hope that students who take this course will be able to walk away with a deeper understanding of what it means to be a sexual and gender minority in the United States and even globally. The stigmas and the stressors associated with living in America as a minority person are sometimes not understood by folks who are from the majority. At the same time, members of the LGBT community who may take this course will learn a lot about the history of their communities and the different kinds of tribulations that members of the LGBT community have experienced over time. An important aspect of this course is that we take a look at something called intersectionality. Just because a person is a sexual gender minority doesn't mean that they're all the same. In fact, we find that sexual and gender minorities are represented in African American communities, Latino communities, Asian American communities. You name the ethnic cultural group, you will find LGBT people there. And sometimes the tensions between ethnic racial culture and sexual and gender minority culture become a little bit difficult for folks to navigate through. But part of our course is to enter into dialogues about these difficulties and perhaps barriers to quality of life and help folks start to understand how to have these difficult conversations. The course is reading intensive. If you don't like to read, you probably may want to look at another course. The course also requires you to lead conversations in the room sometimes, and if you're particularly shy, not to worry, we'll help you overcome that, but just be prepared that you will be talking to the group as a whole periodically. Not in a lecture format, just asking questions to get conversation going.